Have you ever heard about Hákarl? It's a unique delicacy from the land of fire and ice, Iceland. This dish, steeped in tradition, is not for the faint-hearted. It's a culinary adventure, a journey into the past with a taste that's described as, well, unforgettable. Prepared using a method that's as old as the Vikings and as intriguing as the Northern Lights, Hákarl is not just food, it's an experience. Stick around if you're curious to know more about this fascinating Icelandic tradition. The story of Hákarl begins centuries ago in the harsh and cold landscape of Iceland. As we uncover the pages of history, we find that Hákarl, or fermented shark, was more than just a meal. It was a beacon of survival for the seafaring Vikings who first settled the icy terrains of Iceland. The tale starts with the Greenland shark, a creature of the deep, whose flesh is naturally toxic. Yet, the Vikings, known for their bravery and resourcefulness, didn't shy away from this challenge. Instead, they turned it into an opportunity. In a landscape where food was scarce and the climate unforgiving, they needed to make the most of every resource. And so, the process of fermenting the shark began. Left with no choice but to consume this poisonous sea creature, the early settlers discovered that once the shark was caught, it could be fermented to neutralize the toxins. The shark was buried in shallow pits in the ground and left to ferment for weeks, even months, under the weight of stones. Once fermented, the shark was dug up, cut into strips, and hung to dry for several more months. The result? A pungent, aromatic, and completely edible food source that could be stored and consumed throughout the harsh Icelandic winter. As centuries passed, this survival food of the Vikings evolved into a cultural delicacy, an intrinsic part of Icelandic identity. Today, Hákarl is served as a special dish during the midwinter festival of Thorrablot and is a must-try for any traveller venturing to this northern island nation. The history of Hákarl is a testament to human ingenuity and the will to survive against all odds. It's a dish that tells a story of a people who learn to thrive in an environment where others might merely survive. It's a dish born out of necessity, shaped by a unique landscape and polished by time. So Hákarl is not just a dish, it's a testament to the resilience and creativity of the Icelandic people. Now let's delve into what makes Hákarl so unique: its preparation. The journey of Hákarl begins at sea, with the catching of the Greenland shark. This is no ordinary fishing trip. The Greenland shark is one of the largest and, ironically, one of the least understood species in the shark family. Once caught, the shark is beheaded, gutted, and cut into large pieces. Here comes the unusual part. The pieces are then buried in shallow pits in the ground and topped with heavy stones. This process, called fermentation, is a crucial step, as it helps to draw out the poisonous urea and trimethylamine oxide from the shark's flesh. The shark pieces are left to ferment for 6 to 12 weeks, depending on the season. Imagine that, waiting for a meal for almost 3 months. After this, the now safe-to-eat shark meat is dug up, and the real magic begins. The fermented shark is cut into long strips and hung to dry in an open-air drying shack. This drying process can take anywhere from 2 to 4 months, hardening the meat and intensifying its flavor. The final product? A delicacy that's both cherished and challenged. Pungent, strong, and definitely not for the faint-hearted. It's a laborious process, but for Hákarl lovers, the end result is worth every effort. And now, the moment of truth. The taste of Hákarl. This Icelandic delicacy is not for the faint of heart. The first thing that strikes you is its powerful ammonia-like scent, a pungent reminder of the shark's fermentation process. It's a smell that leaves a lasting impression and sets the stage for the taste experience to come. Hákarl's taste is as unique as its preparation method. It's an acquired taste, to say the least, with an intense flavor profile that can be a challenge to describe. Some compare it to a strong cheese, while others find it more akin to an extremely fishy blue cheese. Reactions to Hákarl can be quite polarizing. There are those who relish its distinct flavor and consider it a cherished part of their cultural heritage. Yet, there are others who find the taste overpowering and challenging to stomach. Whether you find it delightful or daunting, there's no denying that Hákarl is a culinary adventure like no other.